If you're starting a business, a new project, a new idea, I have a challenge for you. The reason my clothing company, when I first got it going, the reason it became successful over time, it wasn't initially successful. I had a lot of hiccups. But there was one thing that I chose to do that most people tend to not do. And I took it upon myself to try to learn every possible step in the journey of printing a t-shirt. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll say, you know what, I'm going to create my own clothing company, or I'm going to create this business, and I'm going to hire this person to do this, and that. They'll do that right off the hop. And when they run into a problem with either their distribution or their production or their designing, they have no idea how to negotiate because they've never took it upon themselves to actually go and learn the processes that create their own business. So I had a different idea. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to do this. So I took it upon myself to invest in screen printing equipment in 2011. Now this was also one of the worst decisions I made, but I want you to hear me out here. So I invested in all this screen printing equipment in my one-bedroom apartment. My son Keanu is he's a toddler now. He's like crawling around everything and running around. And my wife's she's studying to become a teacher. And on the weekends I would set this equipment up on my kitchen table, and I had a whole factory going on. So what I did was I would learn how to do the screen printing. I'd learn how to put my t-shirt on on the board, and I would burn the screen, with a black light and whatnot, and I would blow it out in our bathtub with a high compressed power washer. And so lots of things were happening, and then I would take that and I would put it on a clamp with some ink, and I would have a squeegee up there. I'd put that board down onto the shirt, and I would squeegee the ink onto the shirt, bring it back up. I'd bring that shirt up, I'd put it into a hot dryer, and then I use a heat gun, and I'd make sure that I was heating that ink so that when it go into a washing machine, it wouldn't crumble, the ink. And then after that, I would put it onto the balcony to dry. So this whole process was like, oh my gosh, like when in the moment I'm thinking, how do I keep my costs down? How do I keep my costs down? That's all I was thinking. In business, you want to try to keep your costs down as much as possible. But in this process, I was learning every single step along the way. On the side of that, late at night, I'd study this program called Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. And I would learn how to create logos out of nothing. And I would sit there, and I didn't have any formal training, but I was playing around with it. And that's how our Nichigiri logo became a reality, because one night I was playing on it, put it on a shirt, became our bestseller. Trademarked that, and I learned from my mistake in the past of not trademarking things that you're trying to grow very big. So the point I want to make here is when you're creating new ideas in your life, your business, as a leader, you want to understand and actually be able to say that you put your feet into the other person's shoes that you're requesting or that you're going to hire in the future. Because if you haven't put yourself and you haven't paid your dues, you're not going to be able to appreciate the people that are working for you. You're not going to be able to appreciate the people that are going to create a product, a service for you. Or in my case, to create a t-shirt for your companies that you're going to resell. So when I learned all this stuff, and I was able to understand all this, I was able to then outsource it to other people who are better than me. And I was able to talk their language because I knew exact process that they were doing to create the shirts for us. Same thing for you in your business, your organization. You want to be able to understand the process. So when you run into a conflict, you run into an obstacle, and every one of us runs through those, you'll understand how to negotiate, you'll understand the process, and you'll be a better problem solver for your organization, your company, your community, and so on. Solve more problems, be a student, put yourself in other people's shoes, and you'll become a master problem solver, and you'll be able to overcome problems and obstacles more quickly than if you didn't do it in the first place.